All around the world, a new kind of global race is underway. The price? Nothing less than supremacy in artificial intelligence. But this AI gold rush, well, it has a hidden price tag, and it's starting to disrupt everything from the cost of our gadgets to the very way we work. Let's break down these hidden costs of the AI boom.
All right, let's get right to it. Here's the bottom line. The frantic push to build out AI is causing a massive demand shock for critical electronic parts. What does that mean for you? The ripple effect is that the gadgets in your home, your phone, your laptop, even your gaming console, are about to get more expensive. At the exact same time, the immense pressure to win this AI race is forging a new, extremely hardcore work culture for the people building it all. So this first hidden cost really comes down to simple physics and economics. To power modern AI, you need an absolutely incredible amount of computational muscle. And that's creating a huge, and I mean huge, demand for a tiny but essential piece of hardware that's in almost every single device we own. We are talking about RAM, or random access memory. Now, the easiest way to think about it is as your computer's short-term memory. You know, it's what lets your phone juggle a bunch of different apps or lets your laptop stream a movie without stuttering. It's inside pretty much every piece of modern tech you can think of. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. For years, the global supply of this memory, called DRAM, has been fine-tuned for steady, predictable consumer demand. But look at this. Just 3 companies, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron, they control over 90% of the entire market. This is not a market that can just, turn on a dime and ramp up production. So just how big is this new demand for AI? Well, get this. A single AI server can gobble up as much advanced memory as hundreds of laptops. Now, just imagine companies like Microsoft or Google building these gigantic data centers with thousands upon thousands of these servers. They are basically vacuuming up a massive portion of the world's entire memory supply. The result? It's what experts are calling an AI-driven memory demand shock. Prices are already going through the roof. In just the first quarter of this year, memory prices jumped by about 90%. So this isn't some problem for the future. The financial impact is hitting us right now. So, what does a squeeze in the memory market mean for your wallet? Well, it's quickly becoming a story of the haves and the have-nots. The AI giants can afford to pay top dollar, leaving the rest of the tech world to basically fight over the scraps. And that affects nearly everything we buy. Smartphone makers like Apple are feeling the pinch. Laptop manufacturers, we're talking Dell, HP, Lenovo, are reportedly already planning price hikes. Even your entertainment is at risk, with potential delays for Sony's next PlayStation and a higher price tag expected for the new Nintendo Switch. The squeeze is definitely on. And unfortunately, there is no quick fix here. Building new memory factories costs a fortune. I mean, tens of billions of dollars, and it takes years to get them up and running. In fact, industry leaders, like the CEO of Intel, have said we probably won't see any real relief until 2028 at the earliest. The strain on hardware is pretty clear, but this intense pressure to innovate and compete is creating a whole different kind of squeeze, a human one. So what is the cost for the people who are on the front lines of this AI revolution? Okay, let's pivot and look at the other side of this AI boom, the human cost. Because this pressure to win is fundamentally changing the culture of the tech workplace, and it's putting some pretty serious new demands on employees. It starts with these subtle little changes. At AI startups like Cursor and Spur, a no-shoes policy is becoming a thing. Now, the official reason? Well, as Spur's co-founder puts it, it makes it feel like a second home and disarms you in a positive way. The idea is to foster comfort and community for those long hours at the office, but some analysts are looking at this and seeing a very different story. They think these seemingly harmless perks are actually a soft way to get employees to work longer and longer hours, echoing the intense 996 culture from China's tech scene. If you haven't heard of it, 996 stands for working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. It's a grueling schedule that's becoming more and more common in the AI world. The tech industry has been through a lot of upheaval recently, especially with all the layoffs. Now, we're seeing this shift into what people are calling a hard tech era. And what that means is that an extremely hardcore approach to work is becoming the new standard. Long hours are just part of the job description. So on one hand, we have this intense pressure on the global supply of microchips. And on the other, we have this new pressure on the human beings working in the tech industry. But are they really separate issues, or are they actually connected?
And here it is. This is the key takeaway. These two things are really just two sides of the same coin. The hardware squeeze and the human squeeze, they're both symptoms of the exact same cause, the intense winner-take-all race for AI dominance. That pressure is so powerful that it's rattling our global supply chains and our workplace culture at the same time.
It's become really clear that the AI boom is not without its costs. To our wallets, to our devices, and to the very people who are building this new world. And it all leads to one final critical question. As this technology continues to accelerate and weave itself into every part of our lives, what other hidden costs have we yet to uncover?